What's the Craic? Episode
16.
Excellent. We're doing more episodes of Game of Thrones at this point.
Do you know, once at my old job, I used to have this teacher. I used to have this.
You used to have a teacher?
I used to have a teacher. No, I used to have a team leader called Gary. Is his name Gary? Yes, he was called Gary, and he was the most he looked like he worked in computers, but he did like aerospace or something at uni. So just to give you context, so a little bit nerdy.
Likes planes.
Yeah. And
not nerdy enough to like rockets.
Zero melanin. Yeah. So I went randomly. I just went to him one day. So he was quite like a quiet personality. I just randomly went to him one day. Yo, Gary, are you Bloods or Crips? And he leaned over the desk and he did like one of the gang signs.
Like the actual gang sign?
Yeah, he did it. He did it like the one where it's like that.
No way.
He did it perfectly. I was like, oh my god.
Alright, so he's a cool nerd.
Yeah, he knew what's up. So I was like, oh, okay, you know about gangs. How did you know that?
He must have studied it. He watched a documentary once and he's like,
100%. 100%.
Just in case he ever gets caught slipping in the hood. He can just be like, don't worry. No, it must be a cook or something. That's bad enough.
So random, but this just came to me.
Here we are.
Yeah, so what's the crack?
What's the Craic?
What's the crack?
Podcast. That's our new jingle now.
What's the crack?
Podcast. So, I've got a little bit of a story to read out for you today.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to paint the picture. Put yourself in this pair of shoes, right? You are a teacher, not at secondary school, not at junior school. You're at primary school. You're teaching a 6-year-old class.
Okay.
Class of 6-year-olds, yeah? One of the 6-year-olds is behaving badly. He's talking to someone whilst you're trying to teach them ABC 1, 2, 3, yeah? The reason he's behaving badly is because he's got these play money, Monopoly kind of things in his hand, right? So you've taken the cash off of him, right? To discipline the child because,
mm-hmm.
he's distracting the other kid, right? So this kid that you've disciplined then goes to write you a letter. And just now with your teacher hat on, in your professional steed, well, you make a sexy teacher, yeah. That was nothing to happen.
I can't see without my glasses.
I can't see without my glasses. Yeah, you put those on and then...
No,
No,
where's the other ones?
I don't know. You can take them off after the roles have filled. So
okay.
You've
got my hair in a plait today.
Your Mrs. Your Miss. What's your teacher name?
Just Southern would be okay.
Miss Sudduth, but that's your first name.
They don't know that.
Okay, Miss Sudduth. You're going to make these little 6-year-olds really struggle with that one, but fair.
Wow,
Teaching
start young.
Alright, so the kid now, we're going to call him Johnny, has written you a letter of protest. This is a 6-year-old. I don't think I could write letters at 6.
So he's very talented then.
I was too busy chasing after girls.
Yeah.
Nah, I really wasn't. Not with my chipmunk face and my pointy ears.
Literally, the picture I've got in my head is the picture of you going.
Editor, throw up the picture of me going.
Literally, we will have to do that. The picture is here.
It's not, it doesn't exist, I binned it. So anyway, this is the letter.
Okay.
Bear with me because it's a little hard to read. Still has better handwriting than me though.
Shock.
Something to think about. Dear Mrs. Sudduth, I am angry of you because you took 25 of my hummingbird bucks, all because I was talking to Connor. That's no big deal. I'm only 6. I can't be quiet all the time, and that makes you a thief. And a crook. You are going to hell. Real hell. The burning one. Because you're a thief. I worked hard for those bucks. And my only prayer in chapel today was that God gets you to hell fast. Super fast. Oh, and your new haircut is bad.
Yo, why you gotta go there, G?
Real bad. Signed, Isaiah.
Well, Isaiah. I mean, I'd give his money back. I won't go to hell.
Do you know what I mean? He's cursing you in chapel.
In chapel, sir? Why did you come and talk to me about
it? If it was that much beef, bro, I would have given it back to you. You didn't have to get God involved. Trying to send me to hell for this. I don't want to go burn forever. Like, gee, bro.
I was just trying to teach you to shut up.
I'm sorry. Please take it back. Alf, imagine though. Imagine coming back from lunch, yeah. You've just gone for a nice glass of wine, not that you drink, with the other teachers, because I imagine that's what teachers do to handle the stress of looking after other people's children all day. You come back and you see there's a folded up letter on your desk with a love heart on it. So you open it up thinking, one of the kids has left me a little love letter, so cute. And it's that. Burn in hell. Super fast. Forever.
I spoke to God. He's coming for you.
I went to chapel and I told him what you did. You a thief.
And a crook.
And you a crook. And you go to hell. Fast. Super fast.
I mean, I'll be honest. I would actually, if I ever received a note like that, I would actually wet myself. It would be so funny. It would be the funny. I think this is funnier than the teacher. What did he do? Body slamming the kid into the table.
No.
This is like top
episode
tier.
1. If you don't know what we're talking about, go to episode 1.
That's a brilliant story.
Was it episode 1? Episode 2? 1 or 2? One of them.
It was at the beginning episode somewhere. Watch listen to them all.
We'll link it in the description. That's me winking because we're not going to do that.
Can you wink?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Just joking because you look like you're having a seizure.
Yeah, no, I was just doing a thing. I was doing a bit.
It was a good bit.
Thanks.
Because I thought you had a problem.
No.
Yeah, if I ever received a letter like that from a kid, I would actually just wet myself. I think it'd be so funny. Like, wow, 10 out of 10 for the creativity, 10 out of 10 for bringing God into it, because that's like a chess move.
10 out of 10 for knowing to cast your enemies into hell.
Yeah.
Like, for understanding that people who do bad things go to hell.
Yeah.
So this kid's got morals. He's not stealing shit.
10 out of 10 for explaining why you can't shut up as a 6-year-old. Yeah, they can't.
Yeah, so and he's demonstrated. You know what he's demonstrated? Eloquence, grammar skills of a 7 to 8-year-old, way above his class. The intelligence to write a letter and start it with dear and end with him signing it. How he knows how to fucking write a letter, I don't know.
He's an advanced kid. He's an advanced
I'm telling you, there's a bit of storytelling in there as well. I went to chapel, did this stuff and that stuff, just letting it know, setting the scene. And also, he's demonstrated self-awareness. I'm 6, I can't be quiet all the time. Like, Isaiah, nails and heads, bro. You can't. You're just a kid.
It's true.
They're trying to make you do adult things. It's boring. You got hummingbird bucks.
You want to talk to Johnny, whatever his name is. Connor.
And the maddest thing is, it didn't even sound like that was all of his hummingbird bucks. That was only 25. So I don't know how much cash this kid's got. He's popping, but he must be selling sweeties or something. He's slinging rocks, pop rocks.
And you know what's interesting? So why didn't Connor get in trouble?
Because Connor's white. Dun, dun, dun. Nah, I don't know.
Because it seems like Connor was also talking.
But you know what? This is actually a thing that happened to me in school. Is that, I would be talking with someone, because that's how conversations are. There's two parties in it. But somehow I would be the one that would always get in trouble. As if it's my fault that we're having a conversation.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm the disruption one. I'm the disruptive one. I'm the one causing the nuisance. I'm the one that's always causing a problem.
Because you were the one bringing the vibes. You're just involving everyone else.
You know what I mean? Like, done the work. This is boring. Like, let's chat. Breaks for another half an hour. My Power Rangers watch says so, I think. When the watch is here, that means that it's lunchtime. At 11 o'clock. So yeah, I think you get branded. You easily get branded as like the naughty kid at school, and that just paints you with this brush of it doesn't matter who's involved with you. You're the one that's going to get in trouble because it's your fault.
Yeah.
And if you wasn't there, they would be naughty.
Yeah.
Sad times.
Yeah. I relate to this one.
It's going to be okay. Maybe we'll start like a help support group for kids that,
just talk too much.
Yeah, I can imagine you were worse than me, to be fair. I didn't even talk too much. I was just having bants.
Yeah, I used to just science, especially science, which I really liked, but I would always just get sent out just for talking.
Science was always that lesson. I think honestly, hand on heart, out of every subject that I ever had in school, science was the one I was in the least because I got sent out.
Yes.
It was just the environment to fuck around.
It really was. You had Bunsen burners.
You got magnesium that flashes when you burn it. You got all these other things that lit off smoke and steam. It's like, right, what do you want from me? I'm gonna be burning stuff.
It's bound to happen. It's science, bitch.
Yeah. We had like in the doorway to the, like, at the science lab room, whatever you call it, there was like a gas main switch for the Bunsen burners. So we had like these big like wooden work desks, and there was like
yes, and they were in
the same thing, and you have like a little hose kind of nozzle thing.
And you turn it on and it
So we used to go to class early, turn on the mains, turn on all the Bunsen burners, and leave it. So then when it's, say, I don't know, 11 o'clock, it's time to come in, we'd all come in with the teacher and everyone else, and the place smells like gas.
You're trying to blow the place up.
So we all have to leave.
And the class over. That's clever, not gonna lie.
I'm telling you, it's like, obviously 10 minutes later you come back, but banter, who's done this? And the teacher would always think it was someone from the class before. You just used to be at the desk like,
it was me, sucker.
Science is brilliant, and I've made two of my science teachers cry as well.
Why?
I can't remember the first one. She was just like neurotic and just was like, I don't even know why she cried, to be honest. It was like weird. She just had a breakdown. I think because I was talking. This was like in secondary, by the way.
I feel like teachers in secondary school just always cry.
Yeah, so I feel like I must have been like 14, maybe 15. But yeah, she was like, she just started crying. But this other one, because for some reason science teachers always left.
Yes.
I can't now that I'm thinking about it, I can't imagine why. Probably because they got terrorised. But we had this, she was called Mrs. Smith. She was like this like geeky, super like pale, like timid woman. Glasses, but like the super magnified ones. Like looked like a science teacher. If you could draw a science teacher, it was her minus the lab coat. And we had this massive whiteboard, but on the left-hand side, there was like, the paper whiteboards they had. It was like one of them was stuck to it. So what I did is I lifted it up and I drew a massive penis underneath it. Because,
your go-to...
My go-to was to go to class early for science, to cause some sort of mischief. Hopefully someone's left out something scientific that I can play with quickly, whatever. Just bust some bants before the bants begins, do you know what I mean? So I was like, there's an opportunity here. So anyway, I've done that. I'm thinking like, she's, that's going to be there for a while. This has obviously been there. Within 5 minutes, what does she do? She takes off the paper clipboard, whiteboard thing. Massive. There was veins on it and pubes and everything.
There's veins on it.
Spunk coming out of it, everything. Like, the lot. Proper veiny, triumphant bastard. I've watched a lot of Superbad. It's probably influenced me quite a bit. And she screamed, and then she just burst into tears and went out of the class.
That's the first time she's seen a penis, obviously.
I was like, hun, like, not being funny, it's not that deep, it's a 2D penis. And it was a brilliant piece of art. I don't think I've drawn a better penis since. I've not been able to. Yeah, I look at it.
It gave that one your all.
Yeah, I think about it sometimes. I'm just like, I'm never going to be able to top it, so I don't even try it. It's like a limiting belief I have. But yeah, science.
I was not that mischievous in science. I just wouldn't shut up, and I didn't. And I had two extremes. Either I was sleeping in the class or I wouldn't shut up. And I didn't shut up so much that when I fell asleep, the teacher just left me to it. Like, I never got woken up. Like, genuinely would just leave
sweet.
her. Literally just leave her.
Oh, you asleep? That's cool.
Literally, just leave her.
Oh, you asleep? That's cool. Thank fuck for that.
Literally.
Now, class, that we can actually hear our own thoughts. We'll do some work.
My teacher, one of my teachers actually wrote in my paper, like, I don't know how you've done so well on this test considering you never shut up. Because I think I got like an A on it, and he was just very confused, like, she's never in class, so I kick her out, she's either sleeping or she doesn't shut up, how has she done this?
It's like, It's like, miss, sir, because the stuff you teach is fucking easy. Have you ever thought of that?
Out here making it seem
Trying
like it's rocket science.
Like it's my problem for getting a good grade. How did you get a good grade when you don't even listen and you're always in detention and you're always this? I don't know. You're the teacher. You figure out. Maybe because the work's easy. Like they're literally like you're teaching primary, secondary school stuff.
Literally.
Yes, we know you went to university to learn how to do this, but it's not rocket science. It is basic. Everything is basic.
Yeah.
Okay, they actually go on that GCSEs is actually the thing. It's like, no. It's ain't A-levels.
literally.
Got into A-levels and you're just like, I know nothing, Jon Snow.
There were people who got like straight A's in GCSEs, A stars the lot, and got like E's in A-levels.
A-levels was tough.
It was savage. That was one guy who got an E. He was so down, man. I just remember being like, it's alright, bro. It's just a grade.
It doesn't mean anything.
Literally.
Just give
You're
it.
not going to be a scientist anyway, allow it.
Just give it till university. After you finish that, that's if you are going. No one's ever going to ask you about it.
No one's ever going to care.
Nobody's going to care.
What did the lady say? What was she? What was she? Because someone said this recently. Because obviously the results came out this year.
Oh, the head of education in America, the Secretary of Education.
in the UK.
Oh, is that in the UK?
In the UK.
Oh.
Essentially what she said, because obviously all the A-level and GCSE results came out this month.
Yeah.
So essentially she said to everyone, no one's going to care about your results in 10 years.
Facts though.
And I can actually confirm
that's true.
That in all my working life, no one has ever asked for my GCSEs or A-levels at any point.
No.
They genuinely don't care.
No.
It's only for you to get into uni.
No.
And once you get into uni, and I don't know anyone who's actually ever been asked to show it. Do you?
No.
I don't know anyone that's ever been asked like, oh, what did you get at GCSEs? What did you get at A-levels? Like, ever.
Funny enough, I actually did have to produce them documents once. But that was when I was getting sponsored in Australia. They wanted my university certificate and also my GCSE certificates, A-levels, etc. to prove that I had the education to be eligible for the sponsorship. So, in a very roundabout, long-winded way, the blessing of my degree was the only benefit so far that I've enjoyed was being able to get sponsored in Australia, under the job that I was doing.
Yeah. But other than that, no one here cares.
So if you're going to Australia and you want to get sponsored,
get a degree.
Get grades.
Get grades. Any
so
grades.
They have to be good.
Yeah, any grades.
And you can always change it. And I heard Thailand, if you go Bangkok, you can get fake ones. But you didn't hear that from me because that's fraud, and we don't do fraud here. We legit.
We outside.
We outside.
We outside.
Yeah, it's a bigger scam, and you know what? I can imagine she's getting kickback and there's an uproar about what she said, but it's true. You know, teachers, especially in sixth form, would put so much pressure on you and tell you all these things about how important it is for you to get good grades. And if you're going to university, yes, it is, because you're not going to get into good ones thing. But they don't tell you in that way. They tell you like it's the be all and end all.
Yes,
and if you don't get good grades, you're going to never get a good job.
Yes,
you're not going to survive.
True. Yeah,
and it's like, bruv, I know people with no anything that have more money than people that have got master's degrees.
Because I feel like our generation was like indoctrinated to believe that university is the best thing we could possibly do.
Definitely.
And as someone who's been to university, I don't think that's necessarily true.
Definitely.
I don't think you need to go to university unless you want to, or unless you're studying something very specific like law, accounting, medicine, dentistry, anything very specific where you need to know the thing to be able to do the job.
Yeah, like the degree, the job comes with the degree.
Yeah, exactly. But even actually now with law, you don't have to do a law degree to become a lawyer.
Do you not?
No. You can do any degree and become a lawyer, and I think also as well.
Shut up.
Yeah, you can.
You go like under apprenticeship kind of thing. With
no,
like
I can't remember exactly what they've done, but before what it used to be like was you could do any degree, then do is it a GDL, which is like a conversion degree, and then you just do the LPC, which is like the training.
Which is like the bar.
Yeah, which is like the training to become a lawyer, and that's it, and then you become a thingy. And I think now potentially they've changed it. I'm not even sure if you have to do the GDL anymore. I think you can just do the degree and then do the exam, because they brought in some new exams. I don't think you even have to do. because they changed something recently. I think they've changed how the LPC is maybe, but essentially they've just the examination process to become a lawyer is now changed, and the requirements are not that difficult to get into.
Damn.
So a lot of the time you don't have to do the thing that you think you should be doing and I think they are kind of in a lot of aspects making it easier to get into some of these. Like I feel like I read something about medicine being a bit easier to get into as well now, because obviously they want people to join the medical profession.
Yeah.
Because they're doing apprenticeships for it. So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting to see where the education system's going. But yeah, you don't need, unless you want to do any of those specific things. Like there's no point going to university to study English unless you're going to do something with your English degree or
One
history.
One of the most pointless degrees ever. No offense to anyone that has an English degree. My degree is pointless too. Don't worry.
Like
it is what it is.
Like, and because why are you spending all your time and money doing that? That makes no sense.
Honestly.
So yeah, funny turn of events. We've been indoctrinated like crazy.
It's a trick on both ends of the spectrum, because you've got like prestigious, well-off, wealthy people that want to go to uni because my kid's so smart and the kid's under pressure to go because their parents want to, and like it's seen as like this thing, let me go to the best at universities, get the best degrees so I can tell everyone and show everyone. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you've got like the lower to middle class side where they want to go to uni because they think it's going to guarantee me a better job, it's going to do something that probably my parents have never been able to do, and change, I will live a different life because of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think in brown or Asian families, I should say, I don't know what it's like for every other brown person, but in Asian families, like, yeah, definitely, there's like an expectation that you'll go to university in order to, literally exactly what you said.
Yeah.
So, for an Asian kid to say, no, I don't want to go to university, it's shocking.
Blasphemy. And that's like cultural, and then there's cultural pressures as well, as what I just mentioned. It's like what you're talking about.
Yeah, essentially, it's like shocking to say that you don't want to go. Or that you're not going to go, and like my brother basically decided that he was going to drop out of uni because he didn't want to go, and he changed his course a couple of times. And also, I'll come back to this point, but yeah, he and when he wanted to not go anymore, mum and dad were like, you need to speak to him. Why doesn't he want to go? What's he going to do? Yeah, essentially, and after speaking to him and thinking about it, I was like, well, if he doesn't want to go, don't force him. Because he's just going to end up doing something that he hates and not doing it properly because he doesn't want to do it or be there. So it's a waste of time for everyone. So let him figure out on his own accord what he wants to do. And I also think the other thing is, I feel like in this country, there is so much pressure from such a young age to figure out what you want to do by the time you're 18 to go to university.
Yeah.
But how are you supposed to know at 18 what you want to do at university? I ended up picking something. I ended up doing law, thinking I wanted to do law, but now I couldn't want to do something further.
Yeah.
So it's and I think a lot of people experience that. I know multiple people who've gone back to uni like in their late 20s or early 30s because the degree that they originally did they didn't actually want to do, but they picked something because it was time to pick something and you have to go.
Yeah. Let me pick something that looks good or like I should do or like will pay well.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not actually what you want to do.
No. So then you get trapped and you end up but you end up spending so much of your life doing something that you didn't actually want to do because society is expected to do something, and also because your teachers and your university, your teachers at school and your family and everyone has this like expectation of you. You need to know what you want to do by your 18. Who the heck even knows what they want to do by that time at 18?
Not one person says to you, not one person, it will be okay, like you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, don't put too much pressure on yourself. If you don't know, it's fine.
Yeah.
Not one person.
No, it's true.
Do you know what I mean?
And everyone convinces you that you need to go to university at 18. That you have to go then. Not like, no one ever talks about, well, actually, if you haven't figured out what you want to do, you can go actually later in life. It's fine. Same rules apply.
And that's the thing as well. It's like 18, right? You've got to go to university.
Exactly.
It's like you can be 60 and go to university if you want to.
Exactly.
There's not an age thing.
On my course at uni. Oh, I've just taken
technical difficulty.
At my course at uni, there's people older. My friend who was in my class, he was I think maybe like 2 years older than I was because he did like not a medical degree but like something in that field degree, but he decided he didn't want to do that, and the university he was at was super depressed, so he ended up coming and doing law where I was doing it, and then his mum joined the university to do a GDL because she was going to do the law degree.
Nice.
So she was at uni with us.
That's funny.
She was not in any of our classes, but we'd see her from time to time.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, that's my mom. She's also doing the degree.
Hi, Mom.
She's doing it faster than I'm doing it." Because I think she did the GDL and then like an acceleration something. I think. So yeah, like, you know, and no, but no one tells you that.
It's big business, isn't it?
Yeah. I've got a dilemma for you.
Nice.
So.
Give me the goods.
How
you doing, Alan? You good? Yeah, me too, bro.
Okay, so are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
So this is a question for married men, or men in relationships, really. Does your wife have a work crush? My wife told me about her work crush and spoke about how nice he smells and how he makes her feel safe whilst giggling, and this made me insecure. And when I told her this, she said it's normal to have a work crush. Even all her married friends have them, but it doesn't sound normal to me. They even follow each other on socials, even though I look way better than him in every way. What advice would you give to him?
I'm already frowning, so that says it all. Bro, your wife fancies someone else and she's telling you that that's okay. Yeah. Let's put the shoe on the other foot for a minute. There's this cute girl in the office where I work, babe, and I really fancy her, but it's alright because everyone fancies her, and yeah, you know, I'm with you though.
It's getting weird.
Like, sorry? No, nothing will come of it because it's just a work crush, you know? Like, I only look at her at work and, you know, yeah, I fancy her work, but it's you that I love. Wait, so you're openly saying to this man that you have a crush on someone else, but because it's a work crush and everyone else that's married that you know, I'm guessing at work as well, or your deluded friends, think that that's okay?
Yeah.
Bro, dump her ass. That's not that. That's nah.
It's giving work affair. Office affair.
My question to you, sir, is like, do you sniff your wife when she comes home? You know, when she goes out for drinks after work, like, where's she going? Who's she going with? What does she look like when she comes back? What does she look like sometimes? Have you noticed that maybe she dresses up a little bit too much for work? Bit extra makeup.
And my question is, how do you know what he smells like? How close are you getting to this man?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, unless he's like, you know, drowning himself in like aftershave and oud. You would have to be pretty close to someone to like be able to smell them.
No. And like the Facebook thing, minus this, potentially not a problem. Like, you know, you work together, you can be friends with people at work, whatever. The fact that it's a man, have we met? Is it more than just like, we've connected? You know what I mean? Like, there has to be some sort of divulging of information there, like why have you connected with this person?
Yeah, like you would need to have. Yeah.
Have I met him?
Do I know who this person is, or is this, you know,
like, why are you friends, kind of thing? Why are you like friending men? But you know, if that's all clear, then that's cool. But the fact that you're friends and this is going on, and you're saying it's your work crush, well, why are you following him on Facebook then? To chat to him, to look at his pictures, to what?
All of that.
All of that. Honestly, like this, I get bored every week of talking about it. But people actually get married to people that they shouldn't. Like, how?
You know, but I feel like this is such a common thing with a lot of people. I think a lot of people have like work husbands or work wives. I've seen it a million times.
Yeah.
What do you mean it's your work wife? But like, and you know, and usually it's always got the potential to turn into something more.
Well, you know, you're putting an intimate like connotation to what your relationship is with this person. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, you're my work wife, or what's a wife? Someone that loves and supports you and spends intimate times with you, you know what I mean? Builds a family with you. So, alright, so you've got like a real life wife and a work wife. Doesn't add up. You can't, like, what are you, Muzzy? You can't have more than one G.
And even then, people will debate you.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, bro, hate to say it, but it's a bin job.
It's definitely giving red flag. That's for sure.
It's a serious conversation. I don't know how long the marriage is or how much you love her, but that's a therapy session for sure, because she thinks it's alright. So
and
that
also,
alone,
I feel like she's just taking the absolute piss. Oh, he makes me feel safe. Safe how? You're in a work environment. What are you talking about? That's why I don't feel like it's completely as he thinks it is.
Yes, I forgot that safe part. Yeah.
I think
that's game over.
Yeah.
She's
how he makes her feel safe whilst giggling. Like, what do you mean? Do I not make you feel safe?
It's game
what
over.
Is he doing to make you...
If another man's making you feel safe, then I don't make you feel safe.
Yeah.
Or I don't fulfill some certain part of this safety that you're saying. He does.
Yes.
Because otherwise you wouldn't find it in another man.
Yes. And also, what is he doing to make you feel safe? Why, it's bringing in a lot of questions. How is he making...
How?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you not just talk about work stuff? Like, he makes me feel... How, though? What's going on? It's done. It's relationship over, bro. If you're hearing this, dump her.
Tumper. I'm okay, thank you.
Don't stay hydrated these days.
But yeah, that was a peak one I saw, and I was like, oh, where are we gonna go with this one?
People really out here just like getting into relationships with people like that, man.
Losing their damn minds.
Just pour a drink for my fallen brothers. Like. It's better. Yeah,
it's real peak for a lot of people out here.
But we move on. Keep it moving. What else have you got for me?
Did you see what happened in Ireland?
With the potatoes?
No, that was a while ago.
No, what?
There was a glitch in the cash system in the country with the banks, and people who didn't have money in their account could take out money from the cash machines. So people went crazy.
Would you take the money out?
100%.
Would you?
100%.
Don't you think that's morally wrong?
Fuck the banks.
You heard it here first.
Fuck the banks.
Fuck the banks.
Was it not morally wrong to do what they did in 2008? How many people lost their homes? Is it not morally wrong when they saw PPI and mortgages, the people who couldn't afford it? Was it not morally wrong when they didn't actually tell you with full intention that actually when you deposit your money into our bank, we're actually going to take it and invest it. We're going to have the audacity to charge you money when it goes over. When you go into overdraft. They're sneaky. They're so sneaky. That was actually a really funny story years ago. I read it about this man who applied for a credit card. And did he apply? Yeah, he applied for a credit card. And he sent the application into the bank. Obviously, when the application was sent to him, all the terms and conditions are on the application.
Yeah.
He edited the terms and conditions. He wrote over his own terms and conditions. They didn't check it. So they had to give it to him exactly how he had requested because they signed for it and it went through. And then I can't remember what happened, but obviously when it came to, they were like, oh, well, you owe us this much money. And he was like, no, I don't. Read the terms and conditions of the application. You signed to it. and it held up.
That's amazing.
How hilarious is that?
That's brilliant. Sticking it to the man.
Yeah, fuck the banks. Sorry, not sorry.
Do you know what they did though?
What? They got everyone to give it back?
Oh, no.
Charged them?
No. You don't have to give the money back. They, because obviously they've got everyone's details. You had to put your card in to withdraw the cash, right? So you could withdraw up to €1,000 because they use euros in Ireland. They put everyone into overdraft. Yeah. Into overdraft and whacked on like extortionate interest. So they've got to pay it back and some. So this banking glitch, they've made money from it. Or they're going to make.
So was it a glitch or was it just good marketing?
I'm telling you.
You know, the banks are crooks. This kid's been writing to the teacher telling she's a crook. I hope he writes a letter.
Don't worry, he's on the right path. He'll wake up when he gets about 12, 13 and realise, the real crook and thieves are the banks.
Yeah. He'll
be writing letters to them. His guy's going to take down the whole banking cartel.
I hope so. I'm praying for him to do it. You know, he's the hero we've been all waiting for.
So yeah, it's a peak one. But I guess you could argue, my card got stolen.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Do you know what I mean? I'd be like, nah, my card.
That's not my fault.
I wasn't at that bank.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do? It's like fraud and fraud.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, prove it was me that withdrew it. Isn't it though?
Yeah.
Because out of how
did you see me do it?
out of 1,000 withdrawals, some of them were probably like stolen cards anyway, so wasn't me.
Yeah.
Why would I try and withdraw 1,000 out of my bank account?
I know I don't have any money.
I don't have that. Oh, I've got -10 in there. TikTok video. I don't have TikTok. I wouldn't have seen that. Oh yeah, I did go out for dinner actually. I did see a queue outside the bank, but I just thought everyone was, getting their money out.
Because it's Saturday night.
Yeah, thought the coke dealers were busy. But yeah, that was an interesting little development. Was it an accident? Was it done by purpose?
Just don't trust any of it. Just don't trust any of it. I think, banks are dodgy and always have been.
Well, the reason I asked you about, would you do it? Is I see one of the comments under the video was like, oh, well, they deserve it because that's morally incorrect, And I'm just thinking, the banks literally rob you every single day.
Every single day.
Like, what do you think interest is? Do you know what? Like, do you understand how the world works and what
the bank? If you had £30,000 in your bank, and you went to the bank and said, I would like to take out the £30,000 in my account, and I would like you to give it to me in cash, they would not be able to give it to you that day. They would tell you to come back later.
No.
In a few days' time.
The first thing they do, what they say.
Ask
to you,
why.
Why do you want that money?
Why do you want that money?
Excuse me, it's my money. But why do you want it though? It's a large amount.
Because it's my money.
It's my money. Now run me it.
But and then there's a whole process where you've got to go through, and also they would not be able to give it to you in a day. It'd probably take a week for them to get you that cash.
Yeah.
And also I saw a thing where, I saw a thing. I have to show it to you. Essentially, where it was a notice in a bank, and someone had screenshot it and I was taking a picture of it and put it on social media. And essentially, the bank was basically saying that if you wanted to take out more than £2,000, you would need to explain why, where it was going, what it's for.
Yeah.
Excuse me, that's my money. So what's the lesson here?
Don't put your money in the bank.
Don't put your money in the banks.
This is the thing though. As soon as you put that money into the bank, your bank account, you think you're putting your money into your bank account. Yeah. What you're actually doing, you're putting in a deposit as a creditor. So you're giving them, you're giving them a loan.
Yeah.
You're crediting them.
Oh yeah.
So it's not your money anymore.
So and the audacity for them to charge you interest is like
yeah. And then what do they do with that money? Well, they lend it out tenfold with interest. Biggest scam ever.
It is.
And why do people use banks in the first place? Oh, because of safety. To save money. Oh, what with your 2% savings account, which is like 8% under what the inflation rate is. Yes, that's a losings account, hun.
Yeah.
It's not a savings account. But they won't tell you that. If you wanna make money, save it. Yeah, because that's what the banks do. That's what the millionaires and billionaires do. They save their money.
They save their money, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a coincidence, isn't it? They don't teach you anything about this in school. They don't teach you. They will teach you random shit like history that no one really cares about, that we don't even know if it's true, but they won't teach you about how to manage your money, how to invest properly, how to be financially literate, because that's not beneficial to them. No. If you know what to do with your money, that's a problem.
They're going to make less of it.
Exactly.
They want to make more of it.
So everything's designed.
They need to be financially ignorant as possible.
Yeah, learn how to do Pythagoras and figure out what hypotenuse is.
Do you know what I mean? Standard. Honestly, keeping on the school theme though, do you remember the episode we did where you had the list of like schoolhood thingies where they true or not?
Biggie Smalls.
Yeah. You know the story about there was always in the newspaper about there's a wild wild cat somewhere, right? Because we used to have it.
The big cat.
In Forest, there used to be there's a wild cat loose in Epping Forest. Yo, there's actually a picture of a jaguar that surfaced.
No.
In England.
No.
Yeah.
So it's true. It's actually true. All these years later, it's actually true.
We have a confirmed picture of it.
And I took so much piss out of you for that as well. I was like, how did anyone believe that?
The thing is, I remember when it came out, I was actually shook. And now, that shookness was warranted.
Yeah.
And now, that shookness is back. Because I thought it was all lies and now it's true. I just don't know what it's eating. Like, I wondered where my cat went.
Ran off with Sally. Snassy
the snake, probably.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh, as if one of those is actually true. I wonder how many more of those are true. Gonna have to go to high school.
Part 2 and go around and do some investigating.
Yes. Tune into Crackhead TV where we investigate childhood things.
Stuff. That
Things.
you thought were real but weren't
Isn't
sure.
real at all.
Could be though. That's what
Maybe is real.
Potentially is real.
Could be.
Probably.
Like the black cat.
Probably is real. Most likely is real.
Yeah.
Biggie Smalls.
Well, no, you've got to be in the bathroom and turn the lights up and say that.
We'll
And
try
it's
that
Rebecca. I don't know why Biggie Smalls would appear. He's dead.
That's not the point.
But could you just imagine if you turn the lights off, said Biggie Smalls, and it's like, Biggie, can't you see? You was just hypnotized me.
I just love your fleshy ways. That's why this is broken, we so paid.
Ooh.
That's the crack.
That's the crack.
End it with a little song and a little jingle.
Watch out for the black cat.
Stay tuned for episode 17.
Next week.
Where we'll be finding the black cat. We'll be giving information. The black cat will be shown.
We'll update you on the black cat sightings in the northwest.
The northwest of England, the UK, the black cat.
The black cat.
It's coming. We're going to call the episode
The Black Cat.
The black cat.
Is coming.
It's coming.
It's here.
Should you be scared? Who knows?
Who knows?
But find out on next week's episode, which will be out
next week.
Next week.
On all platforms.
Tuesday next week. The Black Cat, is it coming? That's next week. All the episodes.
We don't know what time, but it'll be there.
It will be there. Hopefully we're not busy this weekend, so we can record it on a Saturday and not on Monday like today.
Yeah.
But next week.
Tune
in Tuesday.
Tune it in.
The Black Cat.
The Black Cat.
It's coming. Has been episode 16.
Live and direct.
We don't know what the title is yet. We'll figure that out.
But it's not going to be the Black Cat.
It's not. That is next week's. Put it in your diaries. Tell your aunts. Tell your nan.
Tell your uncle.
And your uncle. And if you've got kids, let them know there's a black cat on the loose. Make sure the doors are locked.
And if you're in the bathroom and you say Biggie Smalls in your peers, let him know too, because that'd be cool.
And he's got a gun, so he might be able to help. In fact, let's all do Biggie Smalls tonight, and we'll summon him. And then
the guns.
We'll have protect the guns, especially because black cats, rock, paper, guns, black cats. Black cats lose to guns.
Yeah, it's
true.
But
they kill paper and they eat rocks.
Yeah. And they don't mess with scissors.
Because scissors are dangerous. And don't run with scissors either. You should have learned that in school, but if you didn't, it's probably because you were scared of black cats. Black cats.
Yeah, black cats.
They're coming soon. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for whatever.
Podcast.
Thanks for being here on the podcast.
What's the crack?
It's What's the Craic. Nice. Now let's eat.